And just like that, we're back. Views from Section 400. Didn't skip a beat. It's Matt, Jack, and Brian along for the ride, jumping into some winners and losers and a couple other quick topics across the world of sports here. I don't want to waste any time. It's the weekend. We want to jump right into it and get you started red hot with what we got going on in the world of sports. Winners and losers is what we do every week. You heard about the Michael the other day. Now we got the winners and losers, which is what you probably really care about. No offense to the Michael, but we know you want to hear who the winners and losers of the week are. So without further ado, Brian, who won the week and who lost the week?
Well, just like Killer Mike's album, Michael, we are disrespecting the Michael. Right on brand, actually. But I will go into my winner of the week. I'm going to go with puns. So Peacock and Paramount Plus are reportedly going to merge. And I guess that's good because now we'll have NBC Sports and CBS Sports on one app, and I might actually buy it. But can you imagine sitting there at dinner, or like right after dinner, going on to turn on the game, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to load up the Mount Cock.
The what?
the Mount Cock.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what they got to call it, right?
What streaming platforms are
Mount Cock, Peacock, and Paramount. You think they're going to call it Mount Cock?
I mean, it's a great campaign slogan. It's a great campaign slogan.
Hop on the Mount Cock.
It's a great campaign slogan. I would buy just because of that.
Hop on it.
So yeah, puns are my winner because I mean, how can you not? That's just marketing gold right there.
But there was a lot of banter you could have done with Peacock that really wasn't like nobody was like, I'm watching it on the cock. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so
I've definitely used that line a couple times around the house.
Our friends down in South Carolina, the Gamecocks, they embrace it. You see all of their merch. It says "Go Cox" or Cox just right across the bill of the hat. But Peacock never really embraced it. Maybe with this new partnership, Paramount will get them to
mount the cock.
Mount so the cock. Paramount has all the CBS shit.
Yeah.
And they're combining with Peacock. Makes sense because CBS does the Champions League stuff with Paramount and then Peacock does the Premier League. So I see the soccer angle there or football angle there for all you European hardos. Other than that, it sounds like maybe both of them are doing really horrible with views and possibly financially, not sure, but there's got to be some kind of underlying reason why there's a combination coming here.
Yeah, the library of TV shows and movies it's not very good for either of those.
No.
So, but yeah, so
you're literally forced to use it because of live sports that you want to watch. You're not going on there to fucking watch a movie.
Yeah, an NFL playoff game, or I guess in Paramount's case, the U.S. qualifying, you had to buy Paramount Plus.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is. But speaking of unbelievable, my loser of the week is going to be elevators. So last year's Cinderella, Fairleigh Dickinson, having a decent season this year. They won this game, but before the game, 12 members of the team got stuck in an elevator. The fire department had to come. They had to pull up the elevator, get these guys to crawl out of the little space, and then they beat some team in the NEC. They beat them in overtime. So good for those kids, going through adversity, getting stuck in an elevator, and then coming out on top to get the victory.
So what? This was recently?
This was yesterday.
Oh my gosh. You don't know who they played?
I could look it up real quick.
It doesn't matter.
No. Jeez, yeah, elevators.
I
tried
want to see their tweet.
I couldn't.
Well, while Brian wastes his time doing that, Jack, do you want to explain possibly a winner or a loser that you had from the week, the previous week?
Absolutely. I'm going to give flowers to Caitlin Clark right here and right now. Normally don't really care for women's sports. Yeah, I said it. Sorry, I said it. But 3,500 career points sets the women's NCAA record for most points scored. A basketball career, just really electric player, shooting at 39.3% from three-point land. That's pretty freaking good. I mean, people don't really hit 40% unless you're named Steph Curry. So I'm pretty impressed by 39.3. And then, to cap it all off, the way she did it from the logo, that was a deep shot. sunk it, hit right off the back of the rim, right down in. I mean, it was perfect. It was perfect.
Biggest fuck it shot ever to do it too.
Yeah.
On the run from the logo.
No, dude, that was
That's what makes it better.
That was Dame Lillard. That was Steph Curry. I mean, that was mental, and she, and that's how she broke the record. I don't think there's any other better way to write that up. So shout out Caitlin Clark. My loser,
Ice cold, dude.
You see
She's electric. She's electric.
She was just said at halftime too. He's
No,
getting
what'd
the
she say?
halftime interview about her breaking the record, and she goes, "Yeah, it's cool, but we got to play some more defense because they're only up by like 5 points." And then she went ahead and scored like 49 points and let them do a win.
badass, dude. She'll definitely
Like
be
throw her up against Steph.
Yeah, she should. I mean, if she wasn't in college, I think if she was in the pros, they'd probably bring her in as well, and then
100%.
second NBA shooter like Dame or something like that. I mean, that would just get even more views, right?
Put her on the Pistons.
Put her on the
Low key, dude. I mean, she isn't going to play a lick of defense, but maybe she can score.
Not like they do anyway. So
I know, but it would be.
yeah, it'd be bad.
It would be bad, like
It's
really
not-
bad.
But my loser of the week is going to be Doc Rivers. Things have not gotten any better for Rivers and the Bucks. He is now 3-7 since taking them over. This is a team.
Love it.
This is a team that at the time was the second place team in the East behind the Celtics. They've now dropped down to the third place. I mean, it's not like they've descended that far, but 3-7 over their last 10 games, and in the 10 games that Doc has coached them. Just a bad record. They're coming off a 2-game losing streak now. Just lost last night, Thursday night. So, they're reeling right now. They still have two of the best players in the game that have been in the game for the past decade, between Dame and Giannis. So I have faith that they're going to figure it out. But Doc Rivers, screw him, man. He came in here. He just done nothing for this team.
Yeah, they just lost to Vince Williams Jr. and the Grizzlies. It's like awful team.
Bro, you see when he went and did the interview, I guess it was after the Utah game, and he blamed it on the fucking altitude and was like, oh, before the season, they looked at this game and saw back-to-back in Utah, the altitude. I was like, I literally commented on TikTok. I was like, this guy can't be fucking serious. Like, it's like total excuse fucking chucker.
He is an excuse chucker. I didn't even know about the altitude one. I thought you were bringing up the travel one. He was like, same thing. Well, whoever scheduled these games, like, you're making us travel here to here, like, on back-to-back days.
It was the same like interview thing, I think. But
and then I don't know if you heard him after the game just this Thursday night. He blamed it on his players. He said, "Yeah, some of my players are checked out. I think they're in Cabo or something."
Which makes no sense because he's like, a lot of these guys are tired from the road trip and they're playing really hard defense. That was like a week ago, and now the players are checked out. Like, the guy's so full of shit.
Well, yeah. Also, your job in the job description as a head coach is to get the players like ready to play, right?
I don't know how this guy still keeps commanding jobs, commanding respect. Like, dude, you won a title in 2008 on the hands of Paul Pierce, KG, and Rajon Rondo. You had a nice life set up broadcasting, and you just couldn't hang it up, dude. The ego couldn't put it aside, and he had to fucking get him out there. I'm just glad he's not coaching the Sixers anymore, because that was going nowhere and going nowhere fast. So good luck, Milwaukee. You're not going to do shit either.
At least we're getting JJ Redick for the finals now.
Well, that's a little more electric.
For the broadcast on ESPN, taking his job.
Jack's like, what? This guy's coming out of retirement?
Back?
Yeah.
That would have been funny. But let me jump into some winners and the losers of the week. I know we were touching a little on what my loser would be pre-pod, but winner of the week, I guess you could call it a winner. It's a little different, but Tiger Woods. I know he only played a round, but he's back on the PGA Tour, played in a tournament. He unfortunately did have to withdraw from the tournament due to injury, but it's still nice to see him giving it a shot, getting out there. I mean, dude, I've heard people say that Tiger Woods is their favorite athlete of all time. This guy's lights out, unbelievable, plays electric golf. He is built, the likeness and the personality brand of Nike golf. Like that, you think of Nike golf, it's Tiger Woods. And to just see him trying to come back, and I know he had a withdrawal, but to come back for Thursday and just get out there and play, I mean, it just means so much. It was the opening round, and this guy was commanding huge crowds watching him tee off and play. So I get it, he had a withdrawal. It might be a sucky winner, but hey, I give it a Tiger for trotting out there after everything he's battled through. And look out for his son Charlie, who's very young right now, but he's going to be fucking good. So there's my winner of the week. I know it might be a shitty one because he had a withdrawal, but it's nice to see Tiger get out there, and he played around. He got through Thursday, so props to him. Props to golf fans as they get that nice little treat. And I don't know what the story is, but maybe we'll see Tiger for the Masters. Hopefully that's why he pulled out, so that he can get healthy for the Masters, because that would be electric to see him play down there in Augusta. But for loser of the week, nobody's touched on it, so I feel like I have to. Isaiah Stewart punching Drew Eubanks in the face. I don't know where he hit him, but he punched him, and he got arrested afterwards and then cited and then released. I mean, dude, what are you doing? Like, how are you that mad? You fucking socked the guy. I mean, did he call you a bad word, a racist word? What did he say that got you so fired up to punch him in the face? I know Isaiah Stewart, you might not be making like $50 million a year, but I'm sure you're making a decent amount of money to where, like, dude, just let it fucking go.
Yeah, this is the same guy that went at LeBron like a couple of years ago on the court and needed to be held back by like
needed
four
like
of his
50 guys
teammates.
to hold him back, dude. It was nuts.
I thought you were talking about the fan for a second. I'm like, he went after.
Yeah, people talk about Draymond Green, but oh my God, Isaiah Stewart, dude.
Isaiah Stewart's getting a little fucking out there, dude. That guy's got to tone it in. Like, you're on the Pistons, bro. I'm pretty sure you guys have less than 10 wins.
This was in the tunnel, too. Like, it wasn't even in the game, but he just got heated before the game and decided to clock Drew Eubanks.
Major anger management issues. And, well, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Got arrested and cited for it. So, loser of the week, Isaiah Stewart there. But that's the winner and losers of the week. Stay tuned next week when we jump in to it again. Let's see who has a high week and who does something so stupid that they're a loser for the week. Rest of the NBA All-Star Game. If you listen to the previous pod, we touched on the bullshit stuff. Now we get into the stuff that's still bullshit, but you might care a little bit more. Dunk contest. Mac McClung, heavy favorite. Won it last year, doing it again this year. Probably going to try a lot because he's in the G League, D League, whatever you want to call it. Probably going to see him try a lot. Then we got what? Jaylen Brown. And then I don't even know who the other guys are you listed, because you're gonna have to read those guys, because I don't even. Who's Jacob Toppin?
He's in the G League also. He's Obi Toppin's younger brother.
No, and then Jamie.
Jaime Jaquez.
Oh, like, dude, that's got to be way better in the notes.
I mean, we've talked about Jaime Jaquez being in the dunk contest a bunch of times.
I put the context clues together for the record, Matt, but
I didn't. But anyway, yeah, those fucking clowns in the dunk contest, probably not going to be tuning in. Wish we saw Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon again. Didn't realize what we had. Took it for granted. And now we got Mac McClung as a heavy favorite to win the dunk contest.
Yeah, I did a little deep dive into the decline of the dunk contest today. And
are you going to paint the picture to take Jaime Jaquez plus 800 here?
No, the exact opposite, actually. The main reason I found was that the winner of the contest gets $105,000. To put that into perspective, the winner of the home run derby gets $1 million, and the winner of the NHL All-Star Skills Challenge gets $950K. So Adam Silver is a piece of shit.
Yeah, but these are all low-level guys. Like Mac McClung, is he even making $100K this year in the G League?
This would be half his salary.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, but you think if he made it $1 million, maybe some stars would be like, hey, that's not exactly chump change. Or at least normal players. You got G League guys because this is half their salary. They want to win.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You should probably up it a little bit, but Adam Silver, I mean, do you expect anything else?
Yeah, I don't know. It's also sponsored by AT&T, and they got that. It's not Flow. Flow's Progressive. What's the other chick that does the AT&T commercials?
I know who you're talking about.
All over March Madness.
Yeah.
They have enough money to give him a little more than 105 of Adam
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, but I'm taking Jacob Toppin. That's my pick. Wait, actually,
I
no,
don't know if I'll be tuning in, man. I really don't know if I'll be tuning into this.
I was gonna
I
say
won't be tuning in for sure, but give me Jaime Jaquez because he's my favorite player out of all these people.
Yeah, I got Jaime Jaquez. I sniped him on the waivers in fantasy basketball. So, I mean, I would love to see him win. And dude, that list is so bad.
Dude,
I
he
mean,
looks
that
like
is,
he's a badass.
yeah, like give me Jaime Jaquez just because, like, dude, the rest of that list is brutal and screw Jaylen Brown because I hate the Celtics. 3-point contest, we get a little better. Karl Anthony Towns as a center in the 3-point contest is slightly ridiculous. I
I
get
think
it.
he
It's a
won it
league.
one year.
I know. I get it's a league where centers shoot threes, but it's just it doesn't look right. I get it. They shoot threes. I get it. He won it. Optics wise, aesthetically pleasing wise, it doesn't look right. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're not. I think it looks worse with a guy lower than him, Lauri Markkanen. That's an odd choice. Cat at least he won one, but Markkanen.
Where is
That's just what the league is now.
where is All-Star Weekend this year?
Indianapolis.
Indiana, yeah, or Indianapolis.
I think Markkanen shot 3 for 18 last night.
That's horrible.
So he's off to a good start.
Wait,
right.
was there
me-
anything going on last night?
Give me Hallie to win this shit. That's my pick. Halliburton's winning the 3-point contest.
Don't hate that. The man that has two voices. You see that clip?
No.
He was on the Pat McAfee show, and like mid-sentence, he just changed his voice. And McAfee was like, "Dude, have you ever told that you have two different voices?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't know. I can't control it. It just happens."
What? That is pretty nuts.
It was an insane clip. He like had a raspy voice, and then he like went into some example of something. It was like listing players, and his voice just completely changed.
Brian, so Jack, you got Tyrese
Halliburton.
and Brian, who do you got?
I'll go with Mets fan Donovan Mitchell.
Okay, I got Trae Young. Lock that in. There are the 3 picks. Let us know below who you're taking. Trae Young's got a shot, dude.
Yep.
I mean, plus 600, that seems like ridiculous value.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna go with Donovan Mitchell at plus 700. I like your pick, Brian. But if this is in Indianapolis, give me Hallie.
Yeah,
no,
definitely
that's a
got to
good
ride
call.
with the homer pick. The homer pick is nice. So let's put it this way. We'll jump into Steph and Sabrina because that's honestly the thing I'm looking forward to the most out of this
That's the
entire
event of
weekend,
the night. It's
including the game on Sunday. I could give 2 shots. I want to see this go down. I don't care about the game Sunday. I don't care about the 3-point guy. I definitely don't care about the dunk. I want to see this fucking thing go down because this is going to be electric. I hope they don't like fluff it up and make it horrible. But like, how sick would it be if it's like the lights are dark, like Steph comes out, like all pissed off, Sabrina's looking all pissed off, and they just like have a dogfight and go at it. I'm sure it's gonna be it's gonna be lovey-dovey, dap each other up, and like Steph's gonna like be just like flinging the ball up to like not care. Yeah, lose on purpose. I remember I said damned if he wins, damned if he doesn't, and I got called out for saying that it's not that deep. I guarantee you it's that deep. So we'll see what happens come Saturday night. That's the only thing I'm looking forward to. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I will say Steph is preparing pretty well for this. He went on a run. I think it might have been the most ever, but he had like 5 games in a row of 7+ threes. That ended last night. But yeah, he's ready for this. And Sabrina, I know she's not even in season, so she's probably just been training for this for the past month and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I said it on the last podcast. This is my event of the weekend, too. I'm going to be watching Sabrina take care of business. It's in the script, folks. Bet the plus money while you can. Watch her win.
While you can. I mean, while you can get it, you might as well get it, right? Is that line going to come down or is it going to stay the same?
I think it's probably going to stay the same. Is Jaylen Brown from New York? I feel like he's a New York guy.
Well, I was going to say, where is Jaylen Brown?
Yeah, I feel like he is.
He's the Boston guy, right?
Yeah.
I'm not like mixing this up. I know I said I hate the Celtics, but I just was making sure I wasn't being an idiot.
Yeah.
He went to college at Cal. So, I don't know if he's from out in California, but he went to Cal.
He doesn't really seem like a New York guy.
I
I
thought
have
for some reason he was from
I have
Marietta, Georgia. So never
okay.
mind. I was about to make a whole
So
New York
Marietta,
pick.
Georgia, that went to the Cal Golden Bears. I mean, that's like a pretty
Yeah,
interesting switch up.
I
Yeah,
guess
there's
there's
a
not
lot of
exactly. This was pre-Auburn and Alabama getting good, and so there wasn't exactly like a big college basketball contingent of schools in Georgia,
yeah.
No.
Georgia's never been good.
unless he wants to go to Georgia Tech and lose to
The
Duke
only, the
twice a
only
year.
thing Georgia's ever had, at least in my lifetime, for basketball is Anthony Edwards, and he was there for 1 year, right?
And they didn't win any
But hold
games.
on. Hold on. Check
No,
this
they didn't
out.
win shit, but they had him, and he was electric.
Yeah,
We say Georgia doesn't really have shit, but like I don't recall the Cal Golden Bears being this elite college basketball program.
Damn good point.
So, I mean, we're like, oh, he doesn't want to say it, Georgia. It's like, dude, the Cal Golden Bears haven't done shit.
yeah, they're also in California.
So much better than Atlanta. I can tell you
Yeah,
that.
but you could go to UCLA if you're that good.
Maybe it wasn't that good.
Maybe he wasn't that good, and he developed. That is true. And Cal was the only team that offered him. That'd be interesting to look that up. But yeah, what we all got Sabrina Ionescu to
I
beat
think
Steph.
so. We're all taking Sabrina money line.
Easy money. Easy money.
And then the game, which I really don't care for. Nobody plays defense. I mean, it's like, can we all confirm this is the worst All-Star game out of the major sports?
No.
Pro Bowl's the worst?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they don't even do a game anymore.
Yeah, they do a
They
flag
do.
football game.
They do a flag football game and do
They
like
don't
tug
even-
of war in between the
They
third
don't
and
even
fourth
do
quarter.
like an actual game anymore. So I feel like you kind of have to give it to football.
Yeah.
And again, that's a
yeah.
whole other story with people getting injured and not getting paid enough to risk your body. But yeah, this is definitely a close second. I'm with you there. I mean, this for the past few years has been Steph Curry and Dame Lillard throwing up half court shots, and whoever makes more wins.
Matt,
Essentially.
you shat on the Elam ending. I kind of like that. I like they put that in there.
On the what
Like
ending?
the Elam ending, the target score.
The target score. Yeah, I don't love it. I just it's because it's like nonsense. It's like the way they
Yeah.
get there is nonsense.
I guess that's true. And yeah, I guess the first year they did it, they kind of carried, but the last couple. I don't think I
It's
even
like
watched
it's
last year.
bullshit, and then it's like out of nowhere. I don't know, man. It's just so manipulated and scripted, and they come up with the target score at the end. Like
Yeah.
it's just I don't know, man. It's total nonsense.
That's
I'm not
exactly
wasting. I'll be tuning into the Daytona 500. Not that.
Yeah, I just
Right,
hope they tie all three quarters so both charities can get the same amount of money. And then that's
But that's the other thing, and I'm not ripping on the charities. Like they would do some dumb shit like that to where they do tie, to where it's just like even worse product. Not ripping on the charities. I hope the charities get their money.
somebody has to win the end, but like the quarters,
Right.
if they tie,
They
every
get-
quarter, whoever wins, the charity.
Look, and that's the whole point of doing the scoring like that is to make it just, confusing, and they can manipulate it to exactly what they want to get out of it.
I can do without it, and I'm gonna do without it because I won't be tuning in. But I will be tuning in to probably the 3-point contest and Steph versus Sabrina. That's about it. That's all you'll get out of me for All-Star Weekend. But yeah, I guess dude, it's like you can't even have fun with like, oh, who's gonna win, Team Giannis or Team LeBron? Because it's like, who fucking cares? And who knows? Like they're both not going to be trying, and then they're just going to come up with a magical target score at the end of the game. Like I guess you could say Team LeBron because they'll script it towards him.
Yeah, maybe. I think he's lost the last couple, but I don't even know.
And Embiid's out, so LeBron has Jokic. So
Yeah,
what's the angle, bro? How do you bet this?
Embiid ducking Jokic again.
I mean, look,
That's the biggest headline that people are gonna fucking run to.
Is Steph Curry on one of these teams?
Yeah, he's a reserve. He's not a starter, but I don't know what team he's on.
Well, I see that Lillard is a starter for Team Giannis as expected, with them being on the same actual team. And Lillard's going to be the best player in this from an all-star point of view, with no defense, chucking up those 3-point shots. So I like to lean Team Giannis, even though Team LeBron is fucking stacked. I'm going with the best shooter.
Well, why is LeBron a starter? Just because he got voted in as one?
Yeah, Giannis and LeBron got the
Is
most votes.
is that how it works? Like if it's voting based?
Yeah, and the top two are the captains, and then
Number one in the East and the West, right?
no, it's just the top
Yeah,
two vote getters.
Top two
yeah,
overall.
because there's no more East versus West. The teams are mixed, right?
Yeah, and then
Uh,
the other top eight are starters, and then the captains pick them, and then they pick through it's a fantasy draft, but
I mean,
Well,
there's
no,
still
it
East
looks
and the West, but for
yeah,
this,
it looks like it because like Giannis, Hallie, Tatum, Lillard, and Embiid are all East teams,
yeah, I don't know how that worked out, but it's a
and then
draft.
LeBron,
wait,
Luka, KD,
it did
Shea,
work out
Jokic. It did
perfect.
work out like that,
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, but
but that's not how it's supposed to be.
no, it's just a straight up draft.
That's actually
But
kind of
yeah, that is pretty wild. That's how that played out. But anyway, let's hopefully this weekend comes and goes, and we don't have to deal with the NBA All Star Weekend. But yeah, hopefully we'll see if Ionescu can beat Steph the sellout. All right, college basketball headlines. I know we touched on it a little bit midweek, but we'll touch it again here. I guess breaking news: they just dropped that the Maui Invitational will be back in Maui. It was in Honolulu last time,
Yeah,
but the wildfires obviously were a shit show. You didn't hear about it because we're sending all our fucking money to Ukraine. Cut. Not a political podcast. Anyway, said the wildfires going on have subsided enough to where they can bring the Maui Invitational back to Maui in the high school gym. You'll
Yep.
get Bill Walton getting horny on the sidelines in his Hawaiian shirt, and it'll be a good time. So glad to see the state of Hawaii get their most notorious event. What else do they have? I know they have a PGA tournament, which is like the Sunny Open that they had this year. I don't even know. Yeah, that was in Hawaii.
Yeah, we just talked about the Pro Bowl falling off. Those were the
They
good days.
don't have that anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
They
Yeah,
don't
when it
do
was
that
back
anymore.
when it was back in Hawaii, it was actually kind of decent. But before we move on from Maui Invitational, next year's Maui Invitational, best team in college basketball will be participating. The Auburn Tigers, along with UConn, UNC, Dayton, Memphis, and Iowa State. So the loaded field that Auburn will win.
That is a loaded field.
It's gonna be a
Loaded
lot
this
of fun.
year. We'll see what everybody looks like next year.
Course.
Since we'll go through transfer portal free agency now that's a thing in college sports.
Yeah, we got three blue bloods in there. UConn, UNC, and Auburn.
stop.
I was waiting
That's
for Matt to spit out his drink when I called him.
Yeah, no, it's just that I didn't even acknowledge the nonsense coming out of his mouth. But either way, I'll give you that. It is loaded. It is a loaded field and should be something excited for because it's like a high school gym over there. So that'll be sweet. And then don't want to spend too much time on it, but Detroit Mercy finally won a game.
Yep.
They
And
were minus.
They had one fan storm the court, and they're gonna get fined $200K for it.
Really?
No.
Yeah. One guy.
What a fucking shit show, dude.
They finally win a game, and they're gonna get fined.
They were -5, and I think they won by like 12. Or they
Yeah.
won? No, they won 81-66, so that's 15. So yeah, they won by 15, covered the 5.5 with ease, and pick up their first D1 victory of the year. First victory of the year. I don't know why I'm saying D1. First fucking win of the year. And they're gonna catch a $250K fine for it. So congrats, Detroit. You still found a way to fucking lose.
I need to see Detroit Mercy and IUPUI play in a first four game for the NIT every year. It's like the two worst programs in college basketball.
I don't.
Just get them in
Yeah,
the
I don't
first
either.
game.
There's just no reason for that.
It'd be so much fun.
And then yeah, we had a friend of the pod, Zach Myers, request some USF talk. And even though Jack and I are huge FAU guys, USF has been nice, dude. They got the ex Kennesaw State coach, and they got Chris Youngblood, who's the ex Kennesaw State guard, who now is, I guess, a fifth-year senior for USF. I'm assuming followed his old coach to USF. Had a little bit of a rocky start to the year, but now they're 18-5. I think they're on a big win streak, and they're 11-1 in the American, 2 games up on FAU. So, looking pretty good to at least win the regular season championship. But the conference championship will be a lot different. But good for that guy for rejuvenating, revitalizing that program, and best of luck to them. But I'm still an FAU out, man, after that run last year. Because Brian, you said earlier in the pod, Farley Dickinson Cinderella. No, it was FAU was the Cinderella team last year.
Well, they were good. I guess they were ranked.
Probably a fucking 9 seed and made the Final Four.
Yeah, I mean that's happened before.
It's a Cinderella run, dude.
I don't know. Farley Dickinson was mine, and then even Princeton, I feel like was a bigger Cinderella. They made it to the Sweet 16.
Dude, FAU was a 9 seed and made it to the fucking Final Four.
But they were good. They were just underseeded. Like when I think of Cinderella, I think of like a 15, 16 school that had no budget for a program. I mean, you could be underseeded to make a run.
I see what you mean, but I don't know, man. That was a crazy run that they made, and they beat some good teams on the way.
Yeah, they did. And I'm sure.
But either way, that's I'm not going to get into battle on that.
I'm sure as we get
closer, we can agree there's multiple Cinderella runs in the March.
Yeah, I will agree. We can agree. We can agree on that. But last thing on USF, it's going to get real interesting as we get really into conference tournament season. If they win the AAC regular season, but then lose to FAU or even like Memphis in the conference tournament, I don't know if they're a lock to make the tournament. So
Memphis just lost to North Texas last night, so Memphis has absolutely fallen off a cliff. I'm not worried about them at all.
Yeah, but I mean, I think.
But you bring up a good point.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting discussion.
It'll be an interesting discussion because I think if they win or a regular season conference championship, you have to include them in before March Madness starts. If you're doing bracketology, you're like, okay, USF's in.
You'd think so, but I don't know.
You think, yeah, but you know that it's the tournament winner, not the regular season winner.
Right, but so the American is just going to have one team that makes it. So what if USF wins the conference championship? Does FAU get snubbed? I don't see that happening.
That's what I was going to say. I can see both of them making it. I can definitely.
I'm just saying there might be a scenario where USF has to win the conference tournament.
But if USF makes the conference tournament championship and FAU does as well, and FAU beats them, you don't think they're in?
Maybe not. It depends what these other bubble teams do.
It's an interesting discussion, but I want to say they will have just enough to like squeeze in. But if they win it, their seeding will obviously reflect way better than if they lose. Like, could really be the difference between like being like a 7 or 8 seed to like a 11 or 12 seed.
Oh, definitely.
But that'll be the difference there. But yeah, that's kind of some quick college basketball headlines. And yeah, Brian, why don't you jump into some NBA news before we touch on a little college football?
Yeah. So besides the big, obviously, All-Star Weekend headlines, we had a couple other little things. Bradley Beal got hurt again, so he's just I don't know. That's like I feel like every year for the past 3 years now, he's been hurt multiple times in the year, and he finally got out of Washington, and now he's on a good team, and he just can't play games.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It really hasn't mattered up to this point, but now he's finally on a contender with the Phoenix Suns, and he just can't get on the court. I mean, I'm going to say it right now, maybe it's the KD curse. I mean, they tried to do this out in Brooklyn, and they couldn't. The three of them, Kyrie, Harden, and KD, couldn't stay healthy and play games together. Maybe that's happening here in Phoenix as well. Can't really get that cohesion. I would hate for them to get to the playoffs and they still don't have that, chemistry together.
Yeah, it could happen. So that's just kind of sad for Bradley Beal there. One other, I guess I could have saved this for Michael of the Week, but I won't. Danilo Gallinari got signed by the Bucks. So the Bucks are in panic mode, and they signed 40-year-old Danilo Gallinari.
I think he was averaging like 7 minutes a game and like 1.5 points. What team was he on? Was he on the
He was on the Wizards a couple of years ago.
I thought wasn't he just recently playing or no? Was he not on the team?
I couldn't tell you.
They just signed him off the street.
They're in panic mode. They're just throwing darts at a wall and
Yeah.
seeing what.
Yeah,
They clearly are.
3-7 since they hired Doc.
Brian, why did PJ Tucker get fined? What the hell did he do?
He requested a trade and he got fined.
He publicly requested a trade without approval. They got fined
So what? He didn't.
75K.
He didn't go through. He didn't go through the front office. He just like went to Twitter or X,
Yep.
and they fined who? I'm assuming the organization fined him.
The organization or the NBA, but like they find
What
that.
team is he on? I don't even remember what team he's on. The Clippers?
Yeah, Clippers. He got traded in
He
that
is on the
Harden trade.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So Clippers, he requested a trade and he got fined by the
Yep.
Clippers or by the NBA or both.
Probably both. Like
Oh my god.
You're finding players for requesting trades. You're finding players for talking against the refs, and you're still only giving $100K to your slam dunk champion.
Yeah, they're saying, look, we pay you a shit ton of money, so you're going to abide by our rules and not shit on things that directly reflect the league.
Including China. Oh, not a political podcast.
Not a political pod.
And speaking of political moves, the College Football Committee is voting on the expanded playoff on February 20th. So they need.
So what are they voting on?
So it's a 5-7 format. It'd be the 5 major conference champions, the Power 5, and then the next 7 ranked teams. So that could be
it's always going to be 12 still.
Yeah, it'll still be 12.
They're just voting on how they're going to
do it. And
I guess give people are going to get like locked in, like auto bids essentially.
Yeah. So it'd be like, say, I don't know, Bama's ranked 1, and then you have a bunch like the Big Ten teams 2, ACC teams 3, and then you'd have like the Pac-12, Big 12 team at like 9. They'd get in, and then the 7 other top ranked teams would get in. So they don't necessarily have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be in order. That's what I was trying to figure out. So essentially, who fucking cares?
The Pac-12 cares, or the former
Why?
Pac-12 cares, because they're not going to have a conference championship. It's Washington State. They're holding out.
So this is just strictly for them then.
They're holding out. It's supposed to be a unanimous vote, and they're like the holdout right now because they're like, well, fuck you guys. We don't have a conference.
Yeah, what? They're playing against Mountain West teams, but they're not in the Mountain West. Is how they're doing that.
They can't. They need like a year to classify into a new conference.
Right. So
that's bullshit, though. Like they should be able to. They should be able to reclassify them a little bit fucking faster.
Yeah,
get them in there.
It still wouldn't fucking matter. Like, what are they going to do? Win a Power 5 conference?
That's also what I was thinking. Who the hell cares about Washington State? I mean,
yeah, this is
when
ridiculous.
the last time they were good?
It's been a while. Gardner Minshew, they weren't even that good.
They weren't even good with Gardner.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I guess you're going to see the Power 5, and then Notre Dame will probably, just for views, get like 12. But yeah, it's up for grabs this year.
Are they?
And so what?
Yeah.
Who?
No, they're going to stay independent forever.
Who?
They're the
Notre Dame.
Yeah, they're staying independent.
Because
they dominate every Saturday on NBC as the independent team.
They make they make a lot of money being independent, but they stink, and they don't deserve to be in these playoffs if they're not playing conference championships.
You know where they're about to be soon to be dominating? The Mount Cock.
Yeah, is that going to be them?
Yeah.
No, because they don't even throw. Notre Dame's too big of a brand where they don't even throw that on Peacock.
They do.
No, they don't.
All sports that stream on NBC are on Peacock.
Oh, so it's just like, but like Notre Dame every Saturday is on NBC 10. Like that's what it's on.
Well, yeah, it's NBC or Peacock.
This is fucking ridiculous, dude.
I mean, it's cable versus streaming, dude. It's like, if you have cable, you're just gonna watch it on channel 10 or whatever it is.
Right.
But if you're a streamer,
you're a stream guy. You got your apps.
Or you could buy Peacock for $7 a month, watch Notre Dame and Days of Our Lives reruns. There you go.
It's
Or you
just
could be
funny
like,
how if you combine all the good streaming services, you're paying the same as cable.
Yep.
And they did this to get rid of cable.
Yep. Time's a flat
So
circle.
talk about getting rooked.
this isn't a political podcast.
And then
No,
everyone's still buying YouTube TV. YouTube TV is like sponsoring every sporting event now. So you're basically buying cable and you still have to stream it.
Anyway, though,
I guess we should move on to NHL.
let's keep it rolling to the final couple things here. NHL preview. Brian, what do you have in mind?
I mean, I had one thing. The Edmonton Oilers are a wagon. I know you've been talking
Well, the
about
Flyers are a wagon.
the Flyers being. I was about to say. I know you've been talking about the Flyers being a wagon. There was a point in the season where
The
Edmonton
Flyers
won.
are a wagon.
There was a point where Connor McDavid's Oilers won 18 straight games, although 2 of those were on Pride nights, so I guess it's 16 straight games and 2 straight gay games. But yeah, Edmonton's a wagon.
Yeah, that was fire. Shout out Brian.
I know your Flyers tomorrow, Matt, have that
Stadium Series. Well, I guess when everybody's watching tonight, the Stadium Series at Jet Life. Flyers Devils outside. Is this Jet Life's first ever hockey game? I think so.
Maybe. I don't think I recall one being there.
I think it's MetLife's first ever hockey game. I don't know about Jet Life.
Either way, MetLife, Jet Life. I think it's the first hockey event there. And it's a double weekend. You get Flyers, Devils tomorrow night, and Rangers. I know the Rangers player. Are they playing the Islanders?
That would make
Ooh,
sense.
It would make sense if
That
it's
would
the
make a lot of
Islanders.
sense.
So
Yeah.
you get Flyers, Devils tomorrow or tonight, Saturday night at 8. You get Flyers, Devils, and then Sunday you get Rangers. I want to say Islanders. I hope Ryan's double checking that for me right now as we speak.
While I'm checking this, shout out to Brock and Brian Timmons, Dallas Stars doing well.
Yeah, the Stars are a good team. Powerhouse of the Western Conference, but that's the Avalanche are probably the best team in the NHL.
Yeah.
Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon. Dude, I went to the game when the Flyers played the Avalanche. Nathan McKinnon, he just took over, dude. He's watch him in
really
person,
good.
bro. He is so fast, so crafty, so skilled with and without the puck on his stick. He's a guy who, you would trade anything to have. There is no player, prospect, anything on your team that is untradeable. If you can go get Nathan McKinnon, whatever his fucking name is. I know these hockey guys have weird names. If I'm the Blackhawks, I would trade Connor Bedard for Nathan McKinnon. Is that a hot take, hockey fans?
Yes,
that
is.
Is that a hot take? Okay. Well, I love Nathan McKinnon. I don't even know his last name.
I'm pretty
but I know
sure it's McKinnon.
McKinnon. He's fucking lights out.
Yeah. No, it's going to be. Well, actually, I can't even say it's going to be because the Stanley Cup playoffs are a crapshoot. But yeah, shout out hockey fans.
But yeah, shout out hockey fans. We'll try and be a little more dialed into that as we get closer to the NHL. But the Flyers are a wagon. They finally got Owen Tippett back, and the All-Star break came at a good time because now they're rolling along. They were down 3-1 yesterday, and they pushed it to overtime to get the point. They lost in overtime, but to go from down 3-1 in the third to tying the game and getting a point, I'll take it on the road. So props to them for fighting and getting the overtime point. And yeah, I mean, they're just they've been trucking along, signed Owen Tippett to the 8-year extension. Great move by them. And they look really good. Props to Torts for turning the team around or having them put their best foot forward. And I always find it funny. I talked to this guy, Ant Sand, on when I was at the game, the Flyers game. I guess this was a month ago at this point. And he does like a Flyers podcast and a Phillies podcast. He actually said he'd hop on the pod if I shoot him a DM. So maybe we'll get him on the pod to ask him about this. But he was the one who brewed up some rumors about Cutter Gauthier not wanting to be in Philly and got traded and that whole thing. And now John Tortorella does not answer his questions at press conferences. There's a few clips out there of Ant Sand asking a question, and he goes, wait, you're the guy who's, yeah, I'm not asking a question. Or he's like, wait, were you the guy who was now? As soon as Ansan asks a question, Twitterella just says, I'm not answering your questions. It's funny. Look it up.
That's crazy.
It's happened like the last 3 or 4 post-game interviews. Twitterella, like, Ansan starts asking a question, and Twitterella looks at him and goes, I'm not answering your questions, and then goes to the next guy. It's hilarious.
That's insane.
Yeah, so props to Twitterella for sticking to his guns. It wasn't a one-off thing. It's been like 4 or 5 times that Ansan asks a question, and Twitterella just no dice. He might never answer the guy's question ever again.
Probably
Ever.
not.
He might not. As long as Twitterella is the head coach there. So that's pretty funny stuff there. But yeah, NHL will dial it up as we get closer to the NHL playoffs. But the big one, it's the Great American Race, guys. The Daytona 500. I got rushed through it last time. I'm not getting rushed through it here. We're going 500 miles on Sunday. It's the Great American Race. It's the Super Bowl of the NASCAR season, and it kicks off the season. What other sport does that? Their biggest event at the start of the year. Is there another sport that does it? I don't think so.
No. The answer is no.
I mean, you could argue
the answer is
golf.
No.
If you're talking like the majors, I mean, the Masters is probably the biggest one.
Yeah, the Masters and the U.S. Open and the Players. Yeah, but either way, the Daytona 500, it's a Great American Race. The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is the Grand Marshal. Who remembers early 2000s Kevin James? That is the – I mean, dude, you want to talk about America. That just – if that doesn't get you fired up, dude, please move abroad. But, yeah, dude, that was electric. And, yeah, we got The Rock as the Grand Marshal this Sunday, so we'll see how he does. I know he's a big – rah, tough guy, badass. So I'm sure he'll have like a deep voice and get everybody fired up for it. I don't see it being a soft-spoken gentleman driver, start your engine. So that'll be fun to see. But yeah, I mean, I'll just ask you guys, are you guys going to tune in at all to the Daytona 500, or is this just zero interest whatsoever? Are you guys going to sprinkle a driver? And I'm not, if you say no, you say no. I'm not, this isn't a trick question. Just curious if you guys might tune in.
Look, I'm telling you, if you everybody go look back at the last podcast. Matt gave his drivers. I'm telling Matt on that, but I'm going to be tuning in.
Fuck, that's going to have to get cut. Sorry, yeah, the phone fell. Anyway, so a little bit of explaining to do. So those picks I gave out were before they did the dual races, which is the open cars trying to race their way into the 500. So that happened last night. But what they do in the open race, they race their 500 car, like the car they're going to race on Sunday. So obviously you guys didn't see, but the betting favorite, Ryan Blaney, got in a huge wreck, destroyed his car, and now they basically have to rebuild a new car for the race on Sunday. So I would stay far away from him. I also wouldn't be surprised if he isn't the betting favorite anymore. He definitely dropped in odds, but that's huge news, dude. Rarely do you see one of those top guys get in a monster wreck. And he was pretty pissed off after the duel, saying, I'm pretty fucking sick and tired of getting clipped by guys who don't know how to drive. And I'm pretty sure it was like one of his rivals. Maybe it was a Hendrick Motorsports car who did it, but either way, it was a competitive rival, and he basically said that the guy has no idea how to drive. So there's always some good NASCAR beef to stay locked into, and look out for a couple fist fights in pit road this year. I'm sure we'll get some of that, but still looking at Harrison Burton. When I gave it out, he's plus 8,000. He's plus 6,500 now. So he's coming down a little bit. He is probably the best long shot to win the 500. If you had to pick a long shot, he's probably not going to. Michael McDowell looked very strong. He was plus 3,000, plus 3,500. I love him. I want to say I love Michael McDowell and the Love's 34. Have you guys ever been to a Love's truck stop?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Well, all up and down this great East Coast that we have.
Well, that is his sponsor. So he's in the Love's 34, and he's won it. He's won the 500 in the Love's 34. So his team knows how to race this track, and he should put himself in a good position because I'm pretty sure he's starting close to the front. But it's a race that doesn't really matter where you start. you could start dead last and make your way up to the front. So starting position means nothing. If you're betting the 500, take this as a word of advice. Don't look at the starting grid and say, oh, this guy's starting in the first row or second row. I'll bet on him. It means absolutely nothing. They go through pit cycles. There's probably going to be 4 or 5 pit cycles. There's going to be cautions, and it's a plate race. Like I said in the quote, or I guess that didn't get released yet, so spoiler alert. But like I said in the last pod, when I say they're going wide open, full throttle through the corners, they're literally pedal to the metal through the corner. Like they're not lifting off at all. So it's almost like a very monotone, like away around the track. That's how it could be boring. I understand that, but it'll be pretty electric, dude. It's going to be an amazing race, and it's the Great American Race. So if you're American, you got to be tuning in. In terms of picks, dude, Michael McDowell stares at me in the face. I don't like what's his name. I don't like Ryan Blaney anymore after he completely destroyed his car. So I'm out on Blaney. I know I might have said it in the last pod, but I'm out on Blaney. I like McDowell and Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin knows how to race this track. He's won it 3 times. So he knows how to put himself in position to win. Denny Hamlin's a safe bet, but the Toyotas have looked kind of slow. But still, it's Denny Hamlin. The guy's been lights out his whole career. Michael McDowell, Harrison Burton has a long shot, but do not go throw any crazy money on that. That is a long shot for a reason. But McDowell, and I don't really know who else, dude. I'm liking McDowell, and I like Denny Hamlin. It's really, dude, that's why it's like anybody can fucking win. That's why it's so crazy. So I'll stop boring you guys. I see Brian falling asleep over there. That's all I got for the pod. Hopefully everybody has a great weekend. Tunes into the 500 because you can get the 500 going on, and then right away you'll jump into NBA All-Star Game that nobody cares about. But the only thing about the 500 is if they're expecting rain in Florida, which I think they are, it'll get postponed probably to Monday or Tuesday. So probably Monday. But that'll be the only annoying part is if they postpone it. And I want to say they're expecting rain in Florida this weekend. So that would suck. Other than that, I'm Matt. I got nothing else. Brian and Jack, why don't you shut us down here?
Shout out Auburn baseball opening day today. War Eagle.
Shout out my little brother for getting an internship with Auburn baseball and being at that game today. War Eagle.